all polling stations across the country. During this period, all registered voters are required to inspect and verify their personal details on the register of voters, including names, NRC numbers, and polling station information. Please note, there will be no new registration of voters during the inspection period. The inspection of the register of voters will also be conducted electronically throughout the inspection period via the ECZ website or the ECZ USSD code *214# on any mobile phone. You can also download the ECZ mobile app from Google Play Store. Voters who need to correct or update their details will be referred to the nearest physical registration center with the registration kit. It is your right. It is your vote. Your vote counts. This message is brought to you by the Electoral Commission of Zambia.
When news breaks, we are already there. Welcome to Prime TV2 Zambia, the channel that never sleeps. From community stories in your backyard to national headlines shaping the country and sports and international updates that keep you ahead. Channel 110. Watch live on Facebook, PTV2 Zambia. Prime TV2 Zambia, your window to the nation, your gateway to the world.
Bushe mwalikwata Top Star Decoder. Bushe mwalishiwa kutila kutimwatamba Prime TV2 Zambia pa channel 110 nga chakutila mlefu okumfwa amadiashi ayalekanalekana okufuma kunchende ishap sana. Bakanyekaniye mukumipekanisisha amadiashi konse kuntumletu mfuila baliba abaiteanya inshita yonse kumulabasa wenu wa Prime TV2. Prime TV2 mulabasa wenu kumadiashi nembila nsuma mumishi yenu. Bushe mwalikwata Top Star Decoder. Bushe mwalishiwa kutila kutimwatamba Prime TV2 Zambia pa channel 110 nga chakutila mlefu okumfwa amadiashi ayalekanalekana okufuma kunchende ishap sana. Bakanyekaniye mukumipekanisisha amadiashi konse kuntumletu mfuila baliba abaiteanya inshita yonse kumulabasa wenu wa Prime TV2. Prime TV2 omulabasa wenu kumadiashi nembila nsuma mumishi yenu.
Hello and a warm welcome to News Flash on Prime TV2, the home of breaking news. We are coming to you live on Top Star Channel 110 and streaming on our Facebook page, PTV2 Zambia. Now let's take a quick look at stories making headlines. On a sad development, PTV2 Zambia loses Kasama-based reporter Matthias Chewe after an illness. Government orders a safety audit of Chingola-Kasumbalesa Road after Kakoso Bridge collapse. Zambia Association of Indigenous Tour Operators votes a new Victoria Falls map and demands stakeholder consultation. With the news in detail, my name is Maidon Kilalo. PTV2 Zambia Northern Province reporter Matthias Chewe has died after a prolonged battle with a brain tumor. Chewe previously underwent surgery for the condition, after which he experienced medical complications. He was stationed at the Kasama Bureau until his untimely death in the early hours of today, 3rd March 2026, around 01 hours. In a statement, PTV2 Zambia says Chewe's professionalism, bravery, and unwavering commitment to justice left a lasting impact on the newsroom and the communities he faithfully served. As part of his remembrance, PTV2 reflects on one of the impactful stories to amplifying community voices. Let's have a look.
The discovery of gold in Kanyelele area of Chikwanda and Mkwikire chiefdoms in Mpika district has sparked a surge of activity, attracting both local and international fortune seekers. This newfound rush has created economic opportunities, particularly for motorbike riders transporting people to and from the mining sites. However, the growing influx of illegal miners has also brought rising concerns over safety. Motorbike riders, who are now in high demand, have become prime targets for attacks.
facing a lot of challenges as motorcycle riders. The first challenge is we are being killed with impunity. The customer will come like they want you to take them somewhere, but on the way they will kill you, they get the motorcycle, they run away, and very few people have been arrested. And those that have been arrested, we have no clue, we don't know if they have been sentenced to anything, we don't know anyway. So we are asking the relevant authorities to look into that, find a solution, see how they can protect us.
Mishek Simuyemba and Lawrence Mtali, both local motorbike riders, have voiced their fears, citing frequent attacks when hired to ferry passengers to the gold mining zones. Mishek further adds his concerns, highlighting the lack of adequate security measures to protect both riders and miners operating in the area.
Sometimes
Matthias Chewe, Prime TV News, Mpika.
Our condolences to the family and the entire Prime Media House. Government has directed Havik International to immediately carry out a comprehensive safety evaluation of the entire Chingola-Kasumbalesa Road following the collapse of the Kakoso Bridge. Minister of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development, Charles Milupi, says the evaluation is necessary to identify potential risks and prevent similar incidents in the future. Speaking during an inspection of the Kakoso Bridge, which collapsed in the early hours of Sunday, Engineer Milupi further instructed Havik International to construct a detour within 48 hours to restore traffic flow along the Chingola-Chilawombwe Road, where heavy trucks are currently unable to pass. More in the following report.
Following the collapsing of a Kakoso Bridge along the Chingola-Chilawombwe Road via Kasumbalesa border, Infrastructure and Urban Development Minister Charles Milupi, accompanied by Corporate Promise Minister Elisha Matambo and the security officials, including the ZNS commander, arrived at the scene to appreciate the extent of the damage. The ministers were welcomed by the sound of machinery as works are currently progressing well to construct a detour so as to allow the movement of the stranded trucks. As they toured the site, Minister Milupi inspected the progress of the works as the Chilawombwe District Commissioner Kelly Jiwinga gave a brief on what is prevailing on the ground after the collapsing of the Kakoso Bridge.
We also have felt the impact, Honorable Minister. No bigger buses are able to pass, and meaning that those that would have been on a bus to and from are not able to pass here. And the impact, Honorable Minister, is already being felt. I'll tell you that even the basic commodities like bread, because those supplies come from places like Kitwe and elsewhere, even bread has become in short supply.
To this effect, Engineer Milupi has issued a directive aimed at avoiding such incidents in the near future.
There must be an inspection of the whole of this corridor from Chingola, Chilawombwe, all the way to Kasumbalesa, to ensure that where we have a similar situation, we do not allow this to happen again.
He also shared on what could have caused the collapsing of the bridge.
But the main cause here is that due to the heavy rainfall that we have had, obviously heavy rainfall uproots some trees and so on, and they come from upstream of this particular stream, Kakoso stream, and some of those fallen trees, they then blocked the culverts at that bridge site.
Corporate Province Minister Elisha Matambo also spoke.
We are very, very grateful. I'm sure you can see that the entire government, the provincial administration and everybody is here trying to salvage the situation and make sure that the situation come back to normal.
The ministers were assured by AVIC International representative that they were committed to adhering to government's instructions and would spare no effort to completing the detour and ensuring the road safety.
Our priority is the safety and the bypass. Like we said, we're going to finish the bypass within 48 hours. It means tomorrow the bypass we're going to finish. It means that all the big trucks, they can use our bypass until tomorrow.
For now, hope has been restored to the truck drivers who have remained in the dilemma after the collapsing of the bridge. Reporting for Prime TV News, Deruk Chitiamba on the Chingola-Chilawombwe Road.
The opposition party Front PF on the Copper Belt says the collapse of a section of the Chingola-Chilawombwe Road at Kakoso Bridge has exposed what it describes as substandard works carried out by a private company under a public-private partnership PPP arrangement. PF Copperbelt Province Information and Publicity Secretary Humphrey Kabwe says the incident points to poor engineering design and inadequate planning, which left the road highly vulnerable to storm damage. Mr. Kabwe states that the road's sub-base was completely breached and washed away, exposing fundamental weaknesses in the construction works.
This collapse is a clear indication of poor engineering design and inadequate planning, which left the road vulnerable to storm damage. The sub-base had been completely breached and washed away, thus exposing fundamental weakness in the construction. As a party, we want to challenge the UPND government to tell the nation which engineering firm was in charge of supervising construction works on this road before and after commissioning. Commissioning of such a project with a lavish ceremony does not guarantee technical qualities. Which consulting engineering company was in charge of designing the road, particularly the bridge? Which engineering firm was in charge of supervising the construction of the road and bridge for it to collapse? This road was constructed by a private company, but surprising today, we are seeing government through ZNS and Zambia Army wasting taxpayers' money to repair the damage instead of the private company that did the job. Lastly, we ask the UPND government not to remain mute, but rather take responsibility for the substandard works on this road rather than begin blaming the storm. The road development agency officials should be held accountable for certifying this road and allowed commissioning of substandard works that has been discovered now.
United Party for National Development UPND National Youth Chairperson Gilbert Lusaniso has called on the youths across the country to remain disciplined and mobilize more members ahead of the August 2026 general elections. Speaking when he received over 300 defectors from the opposition party Front PF in Eastern Province, Mr. Lusaniso said all members of the party should concentrate on party mobilization and avoid engaging themselves in political violence. Details are in the following report.
UPND National Youth Chairman Gilbert Lusaniso visited Katete District in his mission to monitor party structures and mobilization for more members. Mr. Lusaniso received over 300 defectors from the Patriotic Front PF party who joined the ruling UPND.
Today, anza tuweza mchipani China cha PF batijoina na timu yao kutusenze pamoja kutijoina kulangiza kuti zichitomente chita. So I'm just emphasizing my leadership tabia mukatete that they should continue opening the door so that a lot of those who are PF should join us so that we work together. Pendakaende chile has already demonstrated that afuna muntu alliance zepangati pamoja. So mkangana number mukatete in terms of numbers, it is increasing every day. In terms of the numbers, how people are coming. So my appeal goes to the leadership first of all. Yeah, to kuchipancha UPND. Kuti when my voters can see that should be the target.
Mr. Lusaniso, however, appealed to the youth in the country to remain disciplined and mobilize more members ahead of elections in August this year.
So nchito yatu as my leaders now is to reach out, but makamaku is my youth that we should remain disciplined. We should mobilize the party. No violence. Si awangena. Ibemina wamenya AI. So mseza pangati pamoja. So for us, we are happy as a national news team that Katete, looking where I've been coming Kumbuyo, Namita Kanale, you can see that the leadership of Katete district, they are doing a tremendous job through the leadership of the provincial executive team, and also my colleague here with the provincial youth chairman and team.
Chair, you've asked us to open doors that our friends can come and work with us. Results are here and we are able to see them, that people are joining the party.
And UPND member Francis Kope has called for more support to President Hakainde Hichilema's leadership.
Especially as my one. Change support Hakainde. Change passe vote osa tisalide kumbuyo iya. Change support ngangala sogoleri atu. Change support muntu amenata chitukuko. Za chitukuko ni za free education. Za chitukuko nzoikirako CTF.
Meanwhile, the defectors, led by former PF Mkaika Constituency Vice Youth Chairman Festus Njovu, had this to say.
Wamenitashita defect my youth, tuwa kuchipani cha PF, kwela kupani cha UPND, kwela ma youth 300. So tia mikira kuchipani cha UPND, kuti chinali pesa anko, chinali wana kuli mutaliense, pasa chituku. So zasa chatiko kaise my youth, atenti endili pamozi na MP.
Christopher Basilio Banda, Prime TV News in Katete District of Eastern Province.
Thank you, Chris, for connecting the eastern part of Zambia to the rest of the country and the world at large. We continue with the news. The Zambia Association of Indigenous Tour Operators, ZATO, has described as malicious and misleading the information displayed on a newly installed site map of the Victoria Falls World Heritage Site, which the association says inaccurately depicts the location of the falls. The concern follows the removal of an old concrete site model, which has since been replaced with a new one. According to the new map, Livingstone Island, located near the Victoria Falls, is shown as being on the Zimbabwean side, an assertion ZATO strongly disputes. ZATO President Patson Chifumbe says some media reports surrounding the issue are not only misleading, but also factually incorrect. Kwalombo Tamwanangobe has the details.
It is one of the 7 natural wonders of the world and the only recognized heritage site in Zambia by the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, the Victoria Falls. However, concerns have risen following a placard that was recently placed in front of the Victoria Falls depicting a wrong picture of where the Victoria Falls is placed. Zambia Association of Indigenous Tour Operators, ZATO, has described the alleged misleading information on the placard as malicious, as it gives a very different picture of the location of the Victoria Falls and other features such as the Livingstone Island.
We don't dispute that Zimbabwe has its beautiful sites or viewpoints, but to say that the falls is in Zimbabwe is not correct. It's not right. We appreciate the piece of land that stretches in front of the falls, but the actual falls is on the Zambian side in terms of how long of the falls is on the Zambian side. Like the distances have been given, 1.2 and 500 respectively. But for people to be funneling this information out there that the horseshoe, the Livingstone Island, all these things are in Zimbabwe, is very malicious. It's killing our side of the story.
Dr. Chifumbe has since called for stakeholder engagement when approving such important undertakings that pertains to public interest.
We are here because all this thing was initiated because of the placard that has already been pointed at. We don't know how that placard came about, but I think it's very important that some of these things are tabled before they are put out there, because probably would have pointed out what was wrong then than to put it there without consulting us.
And ZATO Secretary General Kelvin Mwela says several features on the Victoria Falls map are on the Zambian side and not what is displayed on the placard.
The Victoria Falls Zambia is about 1.2 kilometers wide of the stretch, and the other 500 meters of the falls are on the Zimbabwean side. So when you look at the Victoria Falls Zambia, that is the place where you can visit the Livingstone Island to start with. It's the only place where you go to the boiling point, the Knife Edge Bridge, and also the Rock Island. That is right after the Knife Edge Bridge. From the point of ZATO, we want to verify and justify that the placard that has been placed in front of the Victoria Falls was wrongly done. When you look at the picture of the falls, the setting is very different.
As it stands, ZATO does not agree with the information on the placard calling for a consensus between Zambia and Zimbabwe pertaining to factuality of the Victoria Falls geographical map. Kwalombota, Mwanangombe, Prime TV News in Livingstone, Southern Province.
Well, that item ends the news flash on Prime TV2. Let's take a recap of stories that made headlines. PTV2 Zambia loses Kasama-based reporter Matthias Chewe after an illness. Government orders safety audit of Chingola-Kasumbalesa Road after Kakoso Bridge collapse. Zambia Association of Indigenous Tour Operators votes a new Victoria Falls map and demands stakeholder consultation. Thank you so much for staying with us. But for these and other stories, like our Facebook page, PTV2 Zambia. On behalf of the entire news and production crew, this has been my Don Kilalo. Stay tuned.
The Electoral Commission of Zambia wishes to inform all stakeholders and the general public that the physical inspection of the Provisional Register of Voters will be conducted from Monday the 2nd to Sunday the 8th of March 2026 at all polling stations across the country. During this period, all registered voters are required to inspect and verify their personal details on the Register of Voters, including names, NRC numbers, and polling station information. Please note, there will be no new registration of voters during the inspection period. The inspection of the Register of Voters will also be conducted electronically throughout the inspection period via the ECZ website or the ECZ USSD code *214# on any mobile phone. You can also download the ECZ mobile app from Google Play Store. Voters who need to correct or update their details will be referred to the nearest physical registration center with the registration kit. It is your right. It is your vote. Your vote counts. This message is brought to you by the Electoral Commission of Zambia.